We have serious problems, but messing with the Constitution won't cure them. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Most Americans don't have much faith in our political institutions these days. Most think the country's going in the wrong direction. Both parties seem controlled by extremists. Positive things can't get done. Compromise is a dirty word. In such frustrating and anxious times, proposals proliferate to seriously amend or scrap the Constitution or legislate drastic changes, like expanding the number of Supreme Court justices who would be compliant with the wishes of the party in power. We must avoid such temptations. The problem is not the document our founders created in Philadelphia 237 years ago, but the peculiar situation of our own times, including the volume of deafening voices from social media. On the left, critics of our founding document declare that the checks and balances that it created make lawmaking too arduous and thwart the will of the people. They want to scrap the Electoral College, abolish the 2 senators per state provision, eliminate life tenure for federal judges and Supreme Court justices. Very alarmingly, they want to gut the First Amendment guarantee of free speech. A few days ago, John Kerry, former Secretary of State, U.S. Senator, and presidential candidate, warned the World Economic Forum about the dangers posed by social media. Quote, "If people only go to one source, and the source they go to is sick and has an agenda, and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to be able to just, hammer it out of existence," end quote. He further complained, quote, "Democracies around the world now are struggling with the absence of a sort of truth arbiter, and there's no one who defines what facts really are," end quote. Good Lord, truth arbiters? Our founders must be spinning in their graves. This dissatisfaction goes beyond the far left. Our government finances are in an alarming mess, and some people think the solution is to amend the Constitution. A group of conservatives, moderate Democrats, and independents have launched an initiative called the Convention of States. Its goal is to convene a new constitutional convention to propose amendments that would, quote, "impose fiscal restraints on the federal government, limit its powers and jurisdiction, and impose term limits on its officials and members of Congress," end quote. Under Article 5 of the Constitution, 2/3 of the states can call for a new convention. According to Convention of States, 19 state legislatures have passed enabling resolutions. If 15 more do so, then Congress must call a convention. 38 states, 3/4, would have to ratify any proposed amendments that came out of such a convention before they became part of the Constitution. Of course, the challenges here are manifest, starting with the actual wording of the amendments themselves. The charge that government's hamstrung is preposterous. President Biden got through several big and disastrous pieces of legislation. Regulatory agencies work overtime, enacting a tsunami of regulations and filing damaging lawsuits. There are real divisions in our country, and as our founders were well aware, these must be dealt with in an often slow, messy political process. There are no magic fixes. Any failures will be the result of flaws of our leaders, not of our founding document. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.